And with that, we would now like to bring on sports audio producer Matt Yeazel to give us more insight on the upset victory. Matt, thanks for being here.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
We have to start where the Golden Eagles pulled off that huge upset against number 10 ranked Illinois Monday. What were your initial reactions from the victory?
Well, first of all, Aidan, great to be talking basketball with you again. I'm feeling a little deja vu with us being on the call at Marquette Radio last night. But what a night. I mean, the number 10 team in the country comes into Fiserv Forum, the third game of the season for this brand new Marquette men's basketball program in this Shaka Smart era, with all these players who really haven't experienced anything like this, at least at Marquette. And for them to pull out this victory in a game, it was tight the whole way. They fell behind by as much as 12 in the second half and were still able to stay strong and come back from that and have some huge clutch plays at the end over a really good team, a team that was a number 1 overall seed in the NCAA tournament last year, a team that's expecting to be there once again this year. And Marquette took them down on their home floor in front of their home fans. It's just a huge statement win by this Marquette program.
And a huge factor was the defense, as Marquette forced 26 turnovers against Illinois, the team's most this season. How big was the team's defense down the stretch, Matt?
It was huge, and that's what Shaka Smart preaches. That's what he's famous for in his coaching career, both at VCU and Texas prior to Marquette, and now he's brought that here. We haven't seen that from Marquette in the last few years. We did not see, in particular, a full court press. We did not see that at all with Steve Wojciechowski, and now Shaka Smart has implemented that here at Marquette. The guards are putting a ton of pressure all the way full up the court. And then you got guys like Kirk Queth down low, swatting 5 blocks last night, getting the crowd going. And just the Illinois head coach, Brad Underwood, talked afterwards just saying, you're not going to win a game when you have that many turnovers. And I think Coach Smart and the rest of the Marquette defenders love to hear things like that. And I think they want to keep putting the pressure on throughout this season.
100%. And just like we just saw in the highlight, redshirt first year Tyler Kolek's steal at the end helped seal the win, was the biggest play of the night. Was that the most important play of the night in your minds?
Oh, absolutely. I almost lost my voice on the call. I mean, that was right. That was a big moment for a guy like that. In the situation, they were down by 2, or the shot clock was just 2 seconds lower than the game clock. Theoretically, you'd probably foul as they're down and then try to come back from that. But for him to step up in that situation, he's been great on the defensive end, guarding the other guards and the other team. And to step up huge in that situation and then to finish on the other end with Marquette down to put them up, it was definitely the play of the night. It's the loudest Fiserv Forum has been in a long time for a Marquette game. And I think just it shows really how important he has been in particular to this team. I think he's been a surprise. He's become really a fan favorite already, a primary ball handler, a great passer, and as I mentioned, a great defender, and he showed all of that on that play.
You mentioned it. We have to talk about that crowd. We were in the broadcast booth upstairs on Marquette Radio, yeah. But the energy down in Fiserv Forum was insane during the game, especially the student section. Was the crowd one of the reasons that Marquette was able to secure the victory?
Absolutely. I mean, it was a fun crowd overall. I think some Illinois fans there actually made it an even better atmosphere with, the dueling fan bases trying to be louder than each other. And I think the student section took on that challenge on both ends of the court. It was packed, and they came up for their team. I mean, they really showed out. It was the loudest. None of these players on this team have, other than Greg Elliott, have experienced a Marquette game with fans in Fiserv Forum. And now to have that moment for all of them, they see what it's like. And they know what they're striving for, what they can achieve at this university. And I think the crowd really had their backs. I think this fan base is really, they have Shaka Smart's back. He has the fan base's support. And I expect more good crowds like this season.
Well, great stuff, Matt. As always, thanks for coming on. When we come back, we'll be discussing the dominant start to the women's basketball season. So keep it here right after the break.